Salut mon ami, ça va? Bon, c'est bon. Connaissez-vous Terry Fox? C'était une personne formidable. Il avait un forte volonté. L'homme a inspiré une nation dans les en 1970s. Euh, en anglais, parle avec moi s'il te plaît aujourd'hui. Hey everyone, this is Yaki the Free playing in the Hell Hades 2025 free-to-play challenge. It's day 69, and I've gotten a badge for winning a tournament, but it's the fifth one. So I'll show you in a second. I was just discussing if you knew Terry Fox. Have you heard of Terry Fox? And in the 1970s, Terry Fox was a young man, I believe he was 19, and he lost a leg to cancer. So he took it upon himself to decide to do something called the Marathon of Hope. And he wanted to run from Newfoundland, Canada, to British Columbia to raise money. And every day he ran a marathon. Every day he ran at least 42 kilometers or 26 miles until ultimately the cancer came back and he sadly had to give up his marathon of hope, but he ran all the way to Thunder Bay, which is deep in the northwestern part of Ontario. So why I'm talking about the Terry Fox man today is when you have the strong will to see your goal through, the only thing that can stop you is death. And in the metaphorical sense, the only thing that's going to stop me from reaching the goals I have in this game is the death of the internet where I work. And as you saw, fortunately, it hasn't happened yet, as I had a pretty substantial, almost 1,000 point win here in the champ training tournament. So we'll back out of here eventually. I I don't know. Sometimes it's lightning quick, and then sometimes there's this massive annoyance of a delay because they're trying to sell me bullshit, and that upsets me. That's the only thing that bothers me about their pop-ups is that it delays. It makes me spend more time because they're trying to sell me stuff that I'm not buying. But anyways, I choose to play. That's part of it. So Yaki the Free is in fourth place, which is fifth overall because there's another person on the content leaderboard I think that has like 13K, but I'm only 200 and something points back, 217 points back now of third. And these people are all doing the hard Doom Tower on the first rotation. I am not. So again, the magic control scroll. I love it. Thank you again, everybody that helped me learn that new hotkey feature. But if we take a look at some other things here in the clan boss yesterday, we'll go to best one keys and we'll hit Nightmare. And Yakety the Free is not in Nightmare, sorry, Ultra Nightmare. Did a 24.27 million hit. That's my best key ever on Ultra Nightmare. And that's a 3 key, boys and girls. That's almost 73 million. So the reason why that's significant is today we're going to do an Ultra Nightmare Boss Battle Live. These are probably nice boots. Not bad though. You know, if you have somebody you just want for faction wars and a lot of HP, that stun sets are always good things. But what's this stun set? Yeah, no speed, no speed. I don't need it anymore. So it's a pop-up day, I guess, but it's a ×2 coming starting tomorrow, I think it is. So I won't be pulling anything until tomorrow because obviously I want to get that stuff. So in the badges of your challenges, which bothers me, obviously it's there to keep you annoyed, but it says, where did it go? Tourney Novice, taking first place there by 5 times. Day 69 is a free-to-play. This account has 5 tournament wins, first places. And I think they were all champ training. Time for a little cafe. So today, we're going to do an in-depth look at my clan boss team and gear. I slightly re-geared Arbiter because it was free to do so. Oh yeah, I got a tourney win. So let's take a look at first at if anything wonderful came out of here. Flat HP with speed and resist, and it's got all the right stats except, you know, obviously I don't want flat HP there, but I could keep that for, you know, something. Maybe faction war. I really need it. Wow, these are fantastically terrible. Look at this. Flat defense, maybe. Flat attack with all the right substats. Again, let's see what's on the shield. This is huge because that's also the max crit damage roll that you can get. I wish the crit rate was higher. That's a perfect shield. We'll level that later. There's not a leveling thing going on right now, so there's no need. This isn't bad. That resist, the accuracy, and crit. This is everything I'm looking for, except that it was missing speed. But that's a pretty big shield, man. And this isn't bad. Max attack, accuracy, so it's not bad. But again, let's take a quick look at this shield. Wowzers. You know what? Let's bring it up to 8 and see what happens here. See if it drops double speed. um, let's bring it up to 12. Let's see what happens here. Come on now. Oof. It can't roll bad. It's not possible to roll bad. Let's stick a 3 speed. Come on, please. We got 2. Wow. That's a pretty good shield. We'll level that later, man. That's how fortunate. So we're going to go through the gear and the masteries and the relics, and then we're going to do an Ultra Nightmare manual live hit. And no matter what's happening, I'm getting max chest today. Even if I have to 4-key and spend gems, I'm getting a max chest today. So my Alice, first thing I'll show you, she's maxed out on her skills. Then her relic is this Malefic Talent. I don't know how to, is it right here? So she's got 21% increased crit damage. That's why she's wearing this. And obviously, I've never picked up a triangle-shaped gemstone for it. Eventually, I will. But she also has a 20% chance to deal 10% more damage. It really adds up. It definitely helps in the clan boss. So you have to bear with me a little if you don't mind on my navigation. I normally don't play around in the relic section. So Alice is wearing the almost exact same gear that she started with after the first novice or the first champ training tournament I ever did, where I could have sniped Lumi, but she got new gloves. So we have a really nice weapon with trip, crit, and then it rolled a crit damage with speed and resist. Couldn't ask for more. Obviously, accuracy, maybe, but I'm okay with what it did. So I'll show you the sets in order as well, if I recall. Now, in her boots, obviously, I want to get not this. I need more powder, I think, to yeah. Otherwise, I would get her, speed, more speed on the boots. But that double roll of HP helps keep her alive just a little bit. And the fact that I had 5% crit, that's why it's a keeper on my Alice. So her helmet, not bad, eh? Pretty good. If it had crit damage instead of attack, I would have been over the moon. It's not bad stats on it though. And here's her shield. So she might actually, if that other shield I just rolled up gets some crit, I might be able to mess around a little with Alice because she'll have a little more speed. But the accuracy with HP, it helps her stay alive in places like live arena. Because I can get away with I'll show you the total stats after, but she's over crit by a little bit. But these gloves, when I got these gloves, they couldn't have rolled poorly. Obviously, I would have preferred, a couple more into the crit rate, but what an excellent pair of gloves. And the fact that it did a attack percentage at the end and a middle roll instead of 5%, not bad, huh? And then she's had this chest a long time. And again, if it had speed instead of flat HP, but I can't argue, and it rolled that accuracy, I'm going to keep that. Alice is my debuffer and nuker. She's in a hybrid build as I put together as a free-to-play player. So in her ring, she's got an attack ring and a huge, that's huge. If it did anything else, I think this is perfect. Obviously not a flat defense at the bottom. It helps, but at 17% attack on her ring. Perfect. Then on her neck here, it's an attack neck. Obviously, I wish it was a crit damage neck, but if I put in a couple more ascensions, it's 25% instead of, I think it's 65 is the max it could have got. So I lost 40% damage basically, but look at the accuracy. I don't have a crit damage amulet that was worth anything. So I had to keep that on her. And then her banner. You know, I can't argue too much. Obviously, getting that speed, not rolling, and a flat defense, not ideal. More attack, more HP. My Alice is hard to kill. If you look into her total stats, she's at 5,000 attack and a pretty good chunk of defense there, but 207 speed. And as I said, she's a little low on the crit damage. That amulet, if I get a crit damage amulet that I can roll, boom. But 130 resist, 378 accuracy. My Alice is rock and roll. So in her masteries, okay, you won't see it because of my face over here, but she's got the Giant Slayer. And I did a bit of a hybrid here, and you'll look, it's a weird diamond shape, but I want her the chance to reduce cooldown even more. It matters. And when you do your campaign farming, she'll just reset her A2 consistently and just proc extra turns with Relentless. So she spin, spin, sugar. Okay, Alice just gets herself dizzy and slaughters everything. So I gave her Eagle Eye as well, by the way. If you don't know this mastery here of Eagle Eye, it's at the there. It decreases the target's turn meter whenever she hits them. And since she has an AoE and a non-AoE, she twice will reduce turn meters on targets. Hey, didn't mean to do that. I knew it. I knew it. It caught me slipping, so it tried to sell me more shit and then telling me somewhere I'm in a tournament. Anyways, Arbiter. Maxed out Arbiter. Couldn't get her a blessing. Wish I could. It would have been really nice. So she's got a very nice relic. It absolutely helps her, where her heals and turn meter increase effects applied to her allies are boosted by 15%. Big old chunk of HP. It helps her. But man, Arbiter's got 2 meter boost abilities, and she's got a heal of some, a big heal on one of those. So this is almost always taking an effect on Arbiter. Like every 7 turns, the Arbiter uses this at least 3 times. So it matters. Now, in Arbiter's gear, I just re-geared her with some perception. And you might be laughing, thinking like, your Arbiter has perception. Well, now she's finally almost at 120 accuracy. And I couldn't get another, if I can get an accuracy banner, I guarantee I 3-key Ultra Nightmare as soon as I find an accuracy banner for Arbiter. So I'm going to upgrade this weapon a little later as well. Hopefully accuracy will show up onto it. But look at the speed. An HP, forget the crit. If it rolls accuracy, that's all I'm looking for. Anything else, whatever. And then the gloves. Flat defense, who cares? Look at the speed again. And I'm hoping for more accuracy, obviously. I don't have any feral gear that would have qualified. So it gives her a little bit more speed as well. So on her helm, the double roll of speed, obviously I wish it did a triple, whatever. Everything else, it doesn't matter. Okay, I don't care if my Arbiter does that much damage. I just want speed and accuracy on my Arbiter. You build yours how you like. I like mine, with resist as well. So again, there's only one reason that she has this shield, and it ain't that speed. It's that resistance on the speed set. I needed her to have a little bit of resist because she goes into, a lot of places like Hydra. And I don't want her getting beat up with, being crowd controlled. And again, it's all this flat H, or max HP percentage chest, but it kept having crit. I can't help it. But the speed, that's why it's there. I wish all these, when I rolled in the 16, it didn't roll accuracy once. And so these boots, I've had these for a long time. They're absolutely terrible on all the substats. You might have been like, why would you roll in the 16? Because they were the first 5-star speed set boots I had when Apothecary was my Arbiter. And then when I ascended it the first time, as you see, it picked up that speed. So I can't argue. They're pretty good. So on Arbiter's ring, once it lets me select it, pardon me, it's an HP ring with big old fat HP percentage, flat defense. I don't know if I'd ever roll that. It's only a 4-star. And I'm trying to get her. I don't have any other amulets as you see, but I want her to have accuracy and resistance. So that's why she's got that pinpoint item. And this banner she's had for a long time with that resistance, but it also had that big speed. That's why I've kept it on her. However, she's gained 3 more speed because of that perception set, the glove and the weapon I put on. So she's at 273 speed now. I don't want my Arbiter at 58% crit damage. I want her at 250 accuracy. Eventually she'll get there. But I dropped her down by 10,000 HP. So she does get punched by the boss with that crushing force. He's not really going to one-shot her as often. It has to be later on in the battle. Now we have Tagoar. I love this hero, man. Oh, pardon me. Arbiter's Masteries. Everybody's got their T6 mastery for War Master or Giant Slayer. But I made sure that my everybody's got who buffs, gives lasting gifts, and cycle of magic. Just a chance so that they can uh, cooldown, the cooldown reset. And Lore of Steel on Arbiter because she's got a lot of two-piece bonuses on, and Sniper to help her land. And you notice it, that 5% chance to land her weaken. You notice it. So Tagoar, who recently got a 6-star soul. So happy about that, man. Tagoar, max skills. They cringe a little sometimes when you tell them it's a 5-turn cooldown. Like, this guy is definitely worth maxing out, as you're about to see. I could potentially 3-key Ultra Nightmare starting today. So in his relic, he's got the Demonic Effigy. And if I could get a diamond gemstone, it'd be even better. But as you see here, wearer's turn meter increases by 10% whenever one of his allies dies. So if 4 people die, boom, 40% turn meter instantly. There's no cooldown on it. And he's got a little bit of resistance and HP. And I love it. It keeps my Tagoar rocking and rolling. And he is a slave driver. If you get one shot by anybody, he's just going to pick you up and say, back in the fight, man. So Tagoar in his 2 pieces of Immortal. Again, obviously, I wish it rolled more HP, especially on Tagoar, instead of, crit. But that's what happens. That's what you get. The fact that it rolled 1 into the speed, good enough. So Tagoar, he doesn't need accuracy, but I don't have any other HP percent gloves at all from Immortal. So this is the ones that he's got, but it's got resistance and speed. My Tagoar, all I wanted was speed, HP, resist, and any kind of defense I could find anywhere else. As you look, he's got a broken everything else, okay? This helm, bunch of resist, HP, speed. And I don't have any set bonuses for anything but the Immortal on him. Again, look, as I said, this is the ultimate stats for Tagoar, except instead of defense, I'd like speed. You do need to get a little bit of defense on him, but I'm looking for I want him at like 270 if I could as well, just like my Arbiter. Big old chunk of defense, but at speed with a resistance on the chest. And then the boots. Obviously, I will ascend these later. The red powder is expensive. I don't just pick it up willy-nilly and throw it around. So hopefully I can get this up to 7 more speed for my Tagoar. They're not the best at everything, but that HP and defense, I'm looking for that. So on his ring, obviously you want that attack to roll 2 more times in the HP, but that's a pretty good ring. And I rolled it this week on the whatever event that there was for gear enhancement, and it gave me some defense percentage. And he got a new neck. After years and years of Tagoar fighting battles with less than stellar gear, he finally got at least it's a blue and it's a 6-star big chunk of HP. And I think I might take this up for that 1200 more HP later. I just might. But there's nothing here that helps him except for that attack. I guess the crit damage if he crits. But whatever. So he also has a chance to counterattack with a huge piece of speed here. He's attack based, but I don't care if he does damage. I want that speed, but that counterattack can help because he applies a increased defense on his A1, and he's got War Master. So if we take a look down Tagoar's total stats now, he's at 3K attack, so he can do a little bit of damage. 63K HP, 227 speed, 300 resist, almost 300 resist. And the accuracy, man, that's a whole lot for somebody who doesn't have any debuffs, but he works for me. And that 118% crit damage, so when he does do a little bit of stuff, it helps. So Tagoar is missing his last mastery, but there isn't really one that I'm too concerned about getting. But lasting gifts, okay? If you don't know what lasting gifts does for you, it's somewhere here, before I forget there. It has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff that he casts. So he casts shield and increase speed. So I can get my Tagoar giving people an extra turn with stuff. Yes? So Daithi. Daihi's missing. Eventually I'll get him these masteries afterwards. His Master Hexer, which can extend the duration of his debuffs. I will definitely do that. He's maxed out on skills. He's got his 2-star cruelty, which lowers a boss's defense especially. So I need that. But this Irethi, I think is how you say it, Irethi Coronet. I couldn't believe this. I made this from, normal eyeballs, but it's got a 1% increase to his damage. Not crit damage, straight up damage each time he places a debuff. And it stacks up to 30%. And it's also got 16 accuracy. This was huge. This is probably one of the better relics you can get for long fights, clan boss battles in this entire game. I've only ever made one. I'm very happy that I did. So, Daithi, first we'll show this chest that I got from the very first siege rewards I ever had. Not too bad, eh? Obviously, I wish this HP said crit damage, but I'll take it, man. I'll roll into each one of the stats that I wanted, especially for a debuffer. So boots, again, you take what you get with the Ascensions. Eventually, I'll keep these boots on Daithi, I think, because he doesn't need any more crit. Pardon me, I wish he had more crit damage, but it's not overly necessary for the job he does. I can get my Daithi another crit damage bonus on gloves eventually. That's where I'll get that damage. So in his Relentless, let's take a look. I forget what his shield was, but not a bad weapon. If it had speed right here instead of that HP, that's what I was looking for, or crit damage. But a fat chunk of accuracy on your debuffer in Relentless. Look at this. Trip roll accuracy. Some defense, speed, resist. You got to get a little resist here or there. Otherwise, you're forced to put it on your banner. So not bad. Yeah, I don't think that other shield will. It might replace this one. I don't know. So good amount of speed and accuracy and resist again. So it's helping him stay alive. 60% crit damage gloves. Not ideal, but currently with that, look at these three stats here. Exactly what I needed. Gosh, I love coffee, guys. So he's in triple pinpoint. If you don't know what that does, it gives him 40 accuracy and 10% speed. So it's kind of like a mini cheat code, especially if you have it in your accessories. So obviously, I don't want an HP ring on him. I'd rather attack. However, it helps him stay alive a little bit, and he's got, attack down there in the sub stack. Crit damage, pinpoint neck. It's not the biggest one, but it is one. And I can't help it. It's got accuracy and resistance. I needed those stats on pinpoint. Perfect. So it's a defense banner. As you see, I have an attack one down here available with a little bit of speed, but I get more speed out of the defense one, and he stays alive better for me. That's why I kept this, because it's got that defense and the HP. Okay. I needed him to have a little bit of survivability, or it's pointless. Because if you're looking, he's still under 2K defense going into Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. Only 4K attack. But as I said, he's way over crit. So if I can get a nice pair of gloves on him, do its crit damage, and bring this crit damage up to, 170, 180%, huge. 100 resist, but 350 accuracy. Daithi doesn't miss, man. He only misses on affinity matchup loss or that 3% chance that I don't understand why it's in the game, but it's in the game. Okay? So, Jareg. He was the first epic I maxed the skills on even before Tagoar. Because I knew right away, with his faultless defense, he reflects back. Anytime he puts on increased defense on his buddies, he reflects a percentage of the damage back. So in his relic, I haven't looked at this in a long time, actually. The Diadem of Undeath, his increases his defense for everybody that's under ally protection. So he's going to pick up 4% more defense every time he applies his ally defense. It seemed to me to be the best for what I had available. And in his gear, you'll see I have him in a Guardian set, and it's huge. This absorbs 10% of damage at all times with the correct stats. Obviously, I want defense percentage as much as possible on him, not just HP, especially for Demon Lord Clan Boss. But with resistance and a double roll of speed there, pretty happy. Nice helmet coming here with that defense percent I was talking about. Speed, flat defense. I wish there was resist. You get what you get, and you get happy when you get something like this. A little bit of crit, whatever, but more speed, lots of resist, keeps this man from being crowd controlled very often, especially in Doom Tower content. Fat old accuracy roll on a big old defense chest. He's an HP based hero, but if he gets punched by the clan boss with 70k HP, he just dies. And the fact that it gave me speed at the bottom, very happy. Then I put him in a two-piece of resilience, so he's got a little bit of HP from that, but it also gives you the defense. And I will roll these to pick up that 17% more defense, I think, only because it picked up that speed roll. And currently, if what's working is working well and you can upgrade it, why not? For me, anyways. As you notice, I get a lot of attack instead of speed on those boots here. That defense percentage is why I've kept these boots on him. And obviously the fact that it's, in that set with big old speed. So I want to make sure that he's landing his A1 as many times as he takes the time to do it. And that's why I have this perception ring on him. It gives him that 20% accuracy or 20 accuracy. And then this amulet gives him 40 accuracy plus the 15 here. So that's almost a banner with the substats and those two set bonuses combined. Can't argue with that, man. It's 75 accuracy straight up. And the defense and resistance, perfect. Obviously, being attack, nothing I can do. You get what you get out of the siege stuff if you get anything. And an accuracy banner with a nice single roll of speed. There's his HP. The other two things below it, didn't want them. That's what I got. So as you see on his masteries, he's got lasting gifts as well because I have two heroes that use relentless, and Daithi also in his kit he can just keep proccing over and over. And Lore of Steel, I had an extra thing to pick because I said why not? I get two items here, and then I've got another two set bonuses down here. If you look, I have three two-piece set bonuses, so that Lore of Steel affects that for you. So my Jareg's total stats, pardon me, 48.5k HP, 3,300 defense. Obviously, I wish this was 4,500, and it will get there eventually. 202 speed on my ally protector. And he's got 146 resistance, but that 288 accuracy. I wish it was 388. Maybe one day. I'll get a nice 6-star mythic banner for him, and off we go. Now, this is why I put annotations or footnotes, timestamps, whatever. If you skipped right ahead, we're going into the clan boss. We're going into Ultra Nightmare. First, I'll show you what I did on Nightmare today on manual, 44.43 million. So today, no matter what happens, I have the gems. I am getting this max chest. I'm getting the first transcendent chest when I log in tomorrow morning. If I have to 4-key this, I will 4-key this. Especially now that I'm going to do it with you guys live. I don't expect to pull 23 million out of here. And this is a much different fight than Nightmare, okay? And I couldn't even imagine what I would end up having on a affinity swap. But since we don't kill this boss or bring it below being void at 50%, I can 4-key this today, and I'm going to. So always I start my turns on Ultra Nightmare with my defensive Tagoar ability. I have no choice. So watch Daithi work here, okay? Daithi, when I first started, I had to use his A3 to increase his accuracy to make sure that it landed. And that's why I want to keep him at his 350 accuracy, because he'll apply his debuff to start. And in this game, the sooner you get your compounding abilities on, like from his Arethi Coronet Relic, the sooner I get debuffs going, the sooner Daithi is doing 1% more damage, 1% more damage, which is going to add up. So you'll see on Ultra Nightmare with Arbiter, I'm going to try to apply a lot of her A1 weaken, and it's not going to land, and it's going to get resisted repeatedly. But when I'm at the start as well, I don't think the boss starts hurting me on Ultra Nightmare until maybe his turn 7-ish. So I can get away with turn meter boost with Arbiter. But I don't want to just use her turn. See how these two damage dealers have max turn meter, but the other two supports that have big cooldowns don't? That's why I will use it. Plus it gives Alice the increased attack for this. And you always hope that Alice procs a relentless on that turn. So she gets, maximum value. Uh-oh. Come on now, Jareg. You got to be landing those. It's not as a big a deal. It's not as big of a deal for Jareg to miss his decrease attack on that skill because it's based on enemy max HP, not the boss's attack. But obviously, I want Jareg to be landing his decrease attack. So you better start doing something, Jareg. I put a little decent spotlight on you at the beginning, but then again, I never promoted how wonderful he is at being consistent with it. But he really is. He's probably one of the most consistent decrease attacks that is an epic, to my knowledge, in this game on an A1. It's a 60% chance. And you take Sniper, and it turns it into a 65% chance. And this is Ultra Nightmare. And he's got only 288 accuracy. So that's not bad. And you'll look, I want my people to be beefy and healthy as long as possible because yes, Arbiter, because it allows me to manipulate the stun target consistently, especially on Void Affinity. If this boss switches to any other affinity, I lose all control after about turn 20, once people start getting below 100% HP. So now we're going to start seeing a little bit more increased damage coming out of Daithi's A1 here. I think it hits for like 71k now. Yeah, pretty close. So I can't apply his decreased defense. So it'd be a waste to try to use it because he's not going to get an extra turn. He's not going to get a cooldown because he didn't apply it. And that's the other reason that I'm still torn about. I don't think I should get Master Hexer on Daithi because it would lessen his opportunity. Yeah, let's boost everyone. Weekend's already on there. I don't want to lessen his opportunity to proc extra turns. And so if he's got a 3-turn decreased defense on the boss, say that's 3 turns, my Dahi's going to miss out on potentially, a couple million damage. And I don't want that to be happening. Oh, here he goes. He did a little bit of a dance there, a triple hit, splat, splat, splat. Or what is it? Pew, pew, pew. So, Alice. If you haven't built your Alice either, and you're still on the fence about Alice, for Clan Boss, that is, this upload hopefully will show you, including my previous ones. I don't know if she'd be better in lethal or whatever the Forge Pass is right now. Oh, I think I can sneak an extra turn in with Jareg here. I wish he landed that decrease attack. But whatever you can get, Savage, Lethal, this Instinct set, it might be better for, especially if you're speed tuned, for your Alice. I don't know what it would be if I was ignoring 30% of this boss's defense with my Alice, but I'm quite happy with the results thus far in my unorthodox team and the gear they're built in. I have my 2 damage dealers are in Relentless on an ally protection clan boss team that is not speed tuned, and it's going to 4 key. It's already a 4 key team like 3 weeks ago. I want it to be a 3 key team, and that would be huge. I'm not saying I'm the only person that thought of this strategy, but I am definitely saying I was wise enough, fortunately, to realize that the path that opened for this team when it did while I was playing the game as a free to play, I'm glad I said, well, let's go down there. I've never walked down there before. Let's see what I find. And this is what I found: an Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team that's doing almost 1 million per boss turn on day 69. No poison debuffs, no HP burn, and some fool yapping and prattling in your ear while they're doing it live. Couldn't be happier, man. What a wonderful experience it's been thus far as well. I hope if you've had any kind of descent towards the game, not the play of the game, but like the company or whatever, it all went away for me. As soon as I joined this free to play challenge, it literally left my life because I don't have an expectation anymore about I put money in or I play every day. How come this person has this and they have that? None of that infiltrates my thoughts anymore. And this is pure joy now. Man, go Arbiter. So adding that 40 accuracy, as I was saying for the past 2 weeks, I'm trying to get her a banner. And since I couldn't get her a banner, I stole Ugo's gloves and Painkeeper's weapon. And now that that weaken is on there, that's 25% increased damage, man. And it affects the War Masters and Giant Slayers. Wow, I'm so happy. I would keep my Arbiter exactly as she is with an accuracy banner. And then I'm pretty certain that weaken would be 100% uptime. And that would be huge. So as you see, the boss is almost about to take a turn. Daithi, I don't want Daithi to proc, but I want everybody to have, yeah, I don't think I could get ahead of Alice with my Arbiter. So don't proc. Ah, he procced. It's still early, but this is big damage for a guy who only has 100% crit damage. That's pretty big damage, man. So with Jareg's passive, there it is. I thought it would come up. So Daithi, since he outran his ally protect, he got hit pretty hard there. So he picked up that continuous heal. That's Jareg's passive. It doesn't have a cooldown, and it can proc on every single turn. So say somebody like Foley or what is his name, Vizier, the night elf guy, anybody that hits you like 4 times like Coldheart, you can proc 4 of those continuous heals if you're still alive and you've taken 20% damage from each hit of it. That's why Jareg will never be at what the current numbers are for chest. He will never be useless in your clan boss. Neither will Alice. Like Alice triple hitting A1, that's all you'll see me ever do with her. I'm sure her A3 could hit for 200 something thousand. I don't care. I want her to just A1, and then I know, yeah, then I know that she's got as much opportunity to be landing Giant Slayers as possible. So see how Daithi has a triple shield buff because he picked up Tagoar's lasting gift. I'm going to get sneaky there. I shouldn't have done that, but I did because I want to get in a 3 key, and I need some big damage to do that. I need at least 24 million, and I also need Arbiter to land a weaken right here. Come on, Arbiter, get a weaken in. Alice still has a chance. Weaken. Ah, it's very rare. If it lands, it lands, and I'm happy about that. Yep, let's get Daithi back up to max. And that's another thing about it. You can cheese some of your healing. Since I have a continuous heal on somebody who takes so many extra turns, I can get my Daithi so that he's consistently back up to taking extra turn after extra turn here. Yeah, go buddy. I Wow. This is all A1s, man. So it's not bad, right? I mean, it's only 50K, but it's 100K if he also lands a giant or a War Master part of me. And he took what, like 5 A1s there. So he did almost like 300,000 extra damage. There's no, yep. Okay. Alice, don't you proc. And that was the perfect time for Daithi to go off like a crackhead there. That was the perfect time. Look at this meth addict, man. So don't proc. God, he won't stop. So now he's going to go down to like 25% HP, maybe even less now. But that's crazy. Uh, he just took like what, 10 turns in 2? Not bad, man. So again, I'm trying to work on my transitional words, but I know I don't have an entire English speaking audience. And I revert to that particle so very often. Daithi, go crazy again. Come on. Yeah. Now that I, embarrassed him talking about his drug problem there, maybe he's just on speed. I don't know. Whatever's going on there. I drink coffee. Dahi's some crazy dude sometimes, man, with the relentless and his internal chance to do an extra turn just on his A1s. You can get those kind of shenanigans rocking with your Daithi. If you don't know about Dahi's A1, it removes a debuff. It has a chance to. Ah, no weaken from Arbiter. Because obviously I want Alice to be hitting for more than she is, if I can. But I'll show you Daihi's A1 right here if you don't know. It has a 50% chance to remove a debuff, random one. Clan Boss only has one, and it's a 50% chance. So every time I can A1 with Daithi, if there's a buff on something, even better. So it takes stone skin. It takes anything that isn't a protected buff, obviously. All right, got to pay a little attention here. Got to get my ally protection on. And I think, ooh, Jareg at 202. I think I beat the boss here. I think I beat him. Jareg doesn't have increased speed. Man, Daithi, go, buddy, go. Yeah, I got to heal him. I got to make sure I don't want anybody to be too low because now that we're at turn 16, I'm going to start losing control of my stun target. And as you saw there, I boosted with Arbiter so that everybody immediately, now they're all taking a turn. So this is how you can kind of get that 2-to-1 ratio on Ultra Nightmare by using an Arbiter. And yes, people, you'll be like, well, how did you get an Arbiter? Well, like many people, you earn your first Arbiter. And that's why I prioritized mine. And it was like compound interest again, training my troops early. I knew what Arbiter can do in the past because I'm experienced. I knew that if she had 10k more HP, she would have taken more damage. That's why I'm okay with my current Arbiter build. Ultra Nightmare, day 69, free to play. And basically, Tagoar, we all start with Tagoar if we use that code, which I think we should. Tagoar and Ugo are the best. Why did I shield with Tagoar? Yeah, I think it's shield time. What am I talking about here? So, anyways, whoever you pick to start with, and if you have a Tagoar and you still haven't built him, please do. Obviously, mine is like nearing pure end game build, especially with a 6-star blessing, but I only picked it up 2 days ago. My Tagoar carried this entire free to play challenge for me up until I got Arbiter. Tagoar was a god. So this isn't going very well by the look of it because I think Alice gets punched here. Ooh. Oh no, it's the oh shit. I was supposed to ally protect with Jareg and there's no uh-oh. I talked myself into a death. Watch this. Dead right here. God damn it. So I was supposed to put on ally protect with Jareg. Instead I was blah blah blah. So I have the 4 key today, boys and girls. If you stayed with me that long, I was excited. I talked myself into a loss. However, you only need 17 million to get the first chest. And if I do that 4 times, 20 million times 4 is 80 million. Longer video than normal, but that gives you an in-depth guide for my strategy. And when I'm not recording, I'm going to get 22 million, I think, now with my current builds on average, if not 24 million. I think I have a 3-key team right now based on RNG. And in about a week, I'm certain I have a 3-key team. And I definitely have a 1-key Nightmare team on day 69, free to play. This was Yakety the Free in the Hell Hades 2025 free to play challenge. Take care, everyone. À la prochaine.